Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my Sunday live stream where we talk about photography and catch up with the community, see how everybody's doing. I'm doing well, thank you. And it's been another crazy week, but this time mostly just shopping. If you guys been coming into my shopping live streams this week because we had Amazon Prime Day and we had the K&F Prime Day sales, and then of course across the spectrum, Best Buy and B&H, and everybody's kind of competing for your dollars. And I did my best to share with you the deals that I thought were, worth taking, and gave some tips on shopping as well. Um, Photography wise, I didn't go out a whole lot. I went out yesterday with the photo club, did a couple of things. So I'll share some images from that. And I don't think I shared the images from last week that I did as much. So I'll see if I can find a couple of those as well. Um, but more than just showing you the images, talk about what my thought process was when I took them in terms of composition and camera settings. And these last couple of weeks, I've been having to shoot my Sony mostly. Uh, because I got some lenses I have to review, but one of the lenses has been announced, so I'll share with you what that was for the Sony, and it's a good lens. So I'm gonna have a full review of that lens coming out hopefully by Tuesday. And so for people that are shooting the Sony full frame E mount, it's the 7 Artisans 85 mm f1.8 lens. It's a good lens, good lens. So I'll talk about more of that in the review, but I'll give you a little preview today of some of the images I got with it. But good morning, Roger and Seraphin. Marsha, always good to see you. Gosh, I was talking about how I want to move to Florida yesterday to some of the people in the group at the photo club. Uh, I just it's been like in the 90s, sometimes a little over 100 degrees here, and the humidity wasn't too bad. It was in the 50 or 60% range most of the time. Uh, so I guess it's more like California heat, but not as hot. But still, I was relatively comfortable in that weather. Um, and I know Florida's like that all the time with higher humidity, but yeah, I'm very, very comfortable in the 80s. The 70s, I like. It cools off a little bit and it's refreshing, but much below that, it's just so annoying. Uh, then you have to start thinking about, do I need to bring a jacket or should I, you know, even gloves if it gets down in the 50s, for me anyway. I know that's balmy weather for those of you up north, but for me, it's just, I can't stand it. Anyway, uh, but yeah, so good to see you, Marcia. And Mineral Wonders. Wow, I already right there with a question, so I'll get to that. And Thomas, good to see you. Um, Roberto, good to see you. And I hope those of you that went to the shopping live streams I did this week got some good deals. If you got those products in already, let me know how they are. Because I more than half the products I don't actually own. I just looked at everything and thought that was a good deal. But if there's any problem with any of the recommendations I made, aside from the outliers of getting a bad copy or whatever, um, but either way, let me know. I know that on the products I do own and use, I feel very confident that those were good deals. And to that end, actually, if you look in the description of this live stream, I put a link directly to something I'm going to try called Rob's Daily Deal Picks or whatever. I don't know exactly what I called it, but I scour basically the Amazon deals for photography related accessories, maybe some lenses and cameras, but mostly accessories that I found to be a particularly good deal, like 50% off or more, right? And at that price seems like a steal. So check that out. And if you use that link, of course, I'll get commissions on any qualified sales that supports the channel. And I really appreciate those of you that did use my affiliate links this week. Um, I did get some decent commissions this week, more than I ever have, really, because I've never really pushed my affiliate links hard, right? Like I did this week, only because it's Prime, right? And I almost titled this stream today, The End. And I said, that's kind of clickbaity though. People are going to think that I'm ending my channel and my live streams, right? But what I wanted to say was that that's pretty much the end of the super deals. I thought because just like Prime Day sales are very random. You don't know what product's going to go on sale exactly, and if it's going to be the best deal they had all year. And because this year I put such a focus on it, I got a pretty good feel for what Prime Day is all about. And certainly the deals are more widespread on Prime Day. But for the individual products that I look at or looked at, the Prime Day deals you can pretty much get all year round. Uh, maybe not this month, but next month, right? If not next month, the month after. So the deals aren't quite as widespread, but there's definitely deals to be had. Feels like almost every day. If you're looking for something and you can wait, you don't need it right away. And a lot of photo accessory products, honestly, you can wait till there's a good deal on it. And that's what I do on a regular basis, you know. And a lot of the products I order, because I ordered a bunch of crap. I say crap, but a lot of stuff that uh, I wouldn't buy otherwise unless it was at such a good deal. And I set it up for really, you know, delayed shipping because uh, I got an extra like 2% back or discount, you know, uh, another 2% discount if I waited on the shipping. So I was like, okay, I'll take another 2% on hundreds of dollars, right? Uh, so that's because I use the Amazon Prime card, their store card, where you get 5% back normally, but they're giving 7% if you don't mind waiting a week or two. So I'm going to get a lot of products in next week that I'll probably, you know, talk about a little bit in the stream, hopefully by Sunday next week, and see if they're really as good as I thought they would be. Because one deal I missed out on was the Anchor power bank. There's $79, which is, you know, half the retail price, but about $40 cheaper than it is normally than I've ever seen all year. So, because right now, if you go to buy it, it's like $109, which is like a 30% discount. But it was like 50% off or something, $79. And I had it in my shopping cart, and I was just waiting to add more things to my shopping cart. And then when I was done, ready to pull the trigger, out of stock. And I was like, oh crap. And there's no rain checks on Prime Day. So I ended up ordering a third party power bank that's supposed to be pretty much the same thing as the Anchor. And it's on sale now, even now for like 51 or $52. And that's going to come in next week. So I'll let you know how that works out. Uh, I won't be able to compare it directly with the Anchor, but if it performs as I expected, then you know I might start recommending that product as a power bank. Uh, so there's that, and yeah, so I got a lot of products coming in next week that I'll talk about. But what I'm trying to do this month is I'm going to hand pick deals. Like I said, my affiliate links down below directly to the storefront where I have the hand picked deals, and see if there's much interest in that, right? Because uh, it takes a good hour for me to sit down and pick out individual deals that I think are worth going for, or at least worth trying, right? Because a lot of these products are not products I own or have tried or tested, but they look really attractive. And And I wouldn't do that if Amazon didn't have such a liberal return policy. If it's not good, just send it back, right? 30 days. So I like that. Um, and that's why I wanted to give this a shot. So it does a couple of things. You get a great deal, uh, you know, curated by me, and I get a few bucks, right? If you decide to buy it. And it ranges between 2 and 4%, depending on what it is, right? I get back. So if you buy like a $40 or $50 filter, I might get like, you know, a buck 50, $2 in commission, depending, between $1 and $2 back. Every little bit helps though, right? So, uh, yeah, but I gave some great tips on shopping in my last stream. I think it was on Friday, of how to find the deals. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be like how to find good deals. It was supposed to be, here are the good deals. But uh, I wanted to show you what was in my shopping cart, how to apply the discount codes, and then monitor, the savings that you're getting, all of that. And then also I also talked about lens. Now today, man, I keep shilling for Amazon and Olympus and everybody, but I'm in the OM system ecosystem, right? I love their cameras, and it's killing me that hopefully this will be the last couple lenses I get for a while, because I wish they would just give us some lenses for Micro Four Thirds. I mean, I'll do the lenses for the Sony and or Fuji, because there's a lot of users out there by far, right? More users on Sony and Fuji than OM systems, but uh yeah, I'd really like to get out and just go crazy with my Micro Four Thirds lenses, or new lenses for Micro Four Thirds. I'd like to see more autofocus lenses from third parties for Micro Four Thirds. So anyhow, today's the last day for the OM Systems summer sale for the lenses, and I think the cameras as well. But there's some really good deals on, excuse me, on their lenses. Uh, and the two that I highly recommend, they're cheap. 40 to 150 kit lens, $130. 75 to 300 kit lens, right? Quote unquote kit lens, $430. Right now, brand new with warranty, right? You can't beat that. To get these lenses brand new, you could buy them used at those prices. But to get them brand new, that's a deal. Yes, Roger just pointed out the OM1 is $500 off. Good deal to get a brand new OM1. Uh, so that makes it what, 16.99, which makes it uh doing the math in my head, about $700 less than the OM1 Mark II. I don't know if there's $700 difference between the two cameras. Yeah, the OM1 Mark II is definitely better. But you guys can decide. The best thing to do is probably wait till Black Friday or something for the OM1 Mark II and see if they have some Black Friday deals on it. Because if you have a camera now, really it can wait. Camera bodies can wait. You don't need to buy those as soon as they come out, right? Because the camera you have is most likely going to be perfectly fine. You bought it to begin with because you liked it. So just wait until there's a really good deal. So now is probably a decent time to get the OM1 if you want it brand new. You can buy them used now for like 1,200. If you want to save another 400 or 500 bucks, you can get a used one in very good condition. But if you want brand new with warranty, now is the time, right? And probably again in Black Friday. But I don't see any reason to wait to Black Friday if it's on sale now for 500 bucks off, because that seems like as good a deal as you're ever going to get from OM Systems on a brand new camera. So yeah, and of course I highly recommend the OM1 because it's an awesome freaking camera. I need to adjust that a slight bit. um, Anyhow, let me get to let me see how I can pull up the chat and get to some of the questions because I close that, open that, and here's a quick one from Roberto. So awesome, awesome. Did you get the carbon fiber one that I use? Because I really like that tripod. If you got something else, let me know which one it was, or share with everyone which one it was, so that uh, they can get a great tripod. And it's right now the discounts looks like they're still going on over there at K&F, even though they told me the 20th was the last day. Today's the 21st. It's almost the 22nd over in China. And the deals and the coupons that I gave you in that last stream are still going on. Like the gearhead you can get for $131. That's a smoking deal for a gearhead. This tripod, I think close to that as well, like 130, something like that. The one that I use. Um, I used it yesterday. And oh yeah, the SD card deal. That was smoking deal. The PNY 256 gig V60 card. And in my last stream, I timed it against a V90 card in the OM1, and everything, for the most part, is just as fast as a V90 card in the OM1. It was like $36. So yeah, I got at least one. I might have bought two. I think I bought one because I have one already. But I bought another one at that deal. So now I have a match set, right, of PNY V60 cards that I can put in my OM1. And Plato's here, John Allen, paying off your R8 full frame, so can't afford it. Yeah, I feel you, brother. Pardon me for saying brother. I shouldn't do that. But uh, yeah, I feel your pain. I gotta pay off one of my. I think it's the. Oh, it's my laptop. My laptop 0% financing expires next month. So I need to pay that off soon, or rotate it over to another card that's offering 0%. But the transfer fee is like 4%, so I'm really paying 4%. But I can roll it over for 4% to another card for another year. I don't know. I think I can pay about half of it off with actual money I might have, and then the other half I might have to roll over before, because if you don't pay it off before, in this particular instance, it was a Best Buy 0%. If you don't pay it off before the expiration date, they back charge all the interest from day one at like 25%. So I end up paying like $3,000 for a laptop that sells for less than 2,000 right now, brand new. I'm not doing that. Um, okay, where did I see the question? Was it further? Oh, Robert's here. Hey, Robert. Um, oh, Roger has a question, but I thought I saw another one. Yeah, Mineral Wonder. Okay, so let me do Mineral Wonder first. So I think that was first. When I put my own OM system on one in PAS or PSA, and there is a circle in the middle of the viewfinder. Oh, that's because you have it in spot metering. So change the metering mode to, say, ESP or center weighted. That circle should go away in the center. But it's basically in a spot metering, spot high, spot low, or spot. Put it back in the matrix. Let me know if that fixes it. If not, just leave it in the chat section and let me know. But that should fix it. In manual mode, M mode, the spot metering doesn't work because you're controlling the exposure manually. So the metering is basically turned off. Okay. And Zoltan is here. Good to see you. And any thoughts on what to look for selecting filter cases? What brand and type are best? Oh, okay. I bought a couple of filters. Let me see if they're still on sale, and then I'll show you the ones that I'll recommend. Um, because I assume you're talking about the carrier filters. 'Cause I am trying to. That's one of my projects this week is to organize my filter life. Because I do regularly use the variable ND, the 10 stop ND, the polarizer. Those three I use on a pretty regular basis. Uh, and the problem is the lens that I want to use them with is all different sizes, right? The filter rings. So I need to organize my step rings and my filters along with the lenses that I commonly use. And then be able to say, okay, no matter what camera lens combination I bring out, within reason, I just take this one filter case and it has everything I need to adapt, what I have to the lenses that I'm going to bring, etc. Uh, I mean, I could sit down and plan, ahead like the day before, but then the problem is my filters and rings and step rings are all over the place. I got some in this bag, camera bag, some over here, some in a case there, some still in the shelf. And I end up going out without the right step ring or filter that I want to use. And this happened yesterday. I did not have the step ring to use my frickin' polarizer for the lens that I had on the camera. And that was stressing me. And I mean, fortunately, I had a variable ND filter, which pretty much acts the same as a polarizer in terms of reducing reflections, at least the one that I have. And let me talk a little bit about that too as well. But okay, let me get to your question. I'm going to pull up my screen. Let me see if this works. Yeah, so here's my page for handpicked deals. Let's see. This is not a bad deal to carry a lot of stuff, but that's not specifically filters. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up my. Okay, so this is my shopping. Here's some things I ordered. I got some new straps. I got a strap from K&F also, but I got these three straps for $10. So we'll see how they pan out. I got another little tiny ball head. Not tiny, but I got another ball head. This was like what, $18, and that's with tax and shipping and all that, right? Okay, so I got. Oh, this is coming in today. So I bought these. I got it for about $1 less than that, right? They were like 10% off or something, whatever. So you get two filter cases. They each hold three filters. Pretty straightforward. The other thing is that it has the belt strap in the back, so you can carry your filters, you know, on your belt or strap it onto your camera bag on the outside of the bag if you want. So it has the little loop for the camera belt, and then it closes via Velcro, so it's not a zipper pocket. Uh, so that's kind of a pro and a con. So this is, and then the overall size, you have to look at the size. This holds 25 to 82 millimeters, so it's bigger than I really need. I do have a 77 millimeter filter somewhere, but this is a little bigger than I need. But for $8, you're getting three pouches. So I got these two because I paid $6, right? I think. Uh, and again, if I don't like them, I can use them for something else. Little pouches like this. But uh, K&F has a really good one. So this is a little bit more high end. It's not that. Is it this? No, it's not this one. JJC has some. These were pretty cheap. This, wow, look at that. That's a good one for 10 bucks. But this holds 8, right? So let me open this in a new tab. That's not a new tab. Open link in a new window. Why is that? Well, anyway, we'll come back to that. Where's the K&F one? I looked at this one. This was pretty interesting. Uh, this JJC, I need to adjust this window. Uh, this was kind of interesting. So it holds 3 filters up to 82 millimeters, so it's a good size. It looks like it has the belt strap, and it's also, how does this close? This is also Velcro. So this looks really good too. 10 bucks from JJC. Okay, but oh, I bought this bag too. Wow, it's $48 now. Have they lost their, oh, because it includes that. They have a filter case that I like. Let me check over here. 8 hours left for Prime Day. That's a whole 24 hours longer than so I wanted to show you their particular filter holders. No. This one. Okay. So this holds 4 filters, right? Let's see what other pictures they got. Now in the back here, you have a hook and you have a belt loop, but this belt loop is Velcro. So you don't have to take your belt off to put this onto your belt. You can just unvelcro it, snap it into your belt, and put it on. So I like that in particular. I like this loop because this loop, you can hang it off the little hook on the bottom of your tripod, on the center column, or hook it to anything, onto your light stand, whatever. So I like this dual option here, right? The other thing, 4 filters, but this is very padded. The padding in here is very thick. It's not like your standard neoprene, which is really good enough. A little bit extra thick padding. It's also zippered, right? So you can zipper close this, so everything is very secure. And then let's see, did I have another picture? Let me see what other pictures. There was several things. So here they're showing how you can hook it to the bottom of your tripod. There's this flap here over the top, so you can unzipper it and just use the Velcro flap for quick access to all of your filters. But then when you want to really secure everything, you can zipper it closed tight. And this is what I would do. I would zipper it closed when I'm traveling and having it in my bag. But when I have it on my belt and I'm in the field, I'll probably just use the little flap with the Velcro. So, or it's not Velcro, I'm sorry, it's magnetic. So it has a magnetic clasp for quick access. Waterproof zipper to protect your filters, the hook. The belt clip is this nylon Velcro, so you don't have to take your belt off to put it on. You can just flap it around. And of course, it's waterproof and hold. So this, to me, I almost bought this frickin' thing. And I think you can use the coupon with this. But for $19, you're getting a really premium filter bag. So those are the things I look for in. Am I still live? Yeah. All right. I lost my streaming window. But those are the things I look for. I don't think brand matters so much, right? But those are the things I look for. So the very low end, you get 2, 3 filter packs for like $8. Very low end, uh, simple Velcro closing. I I might use those just at home and not take those in the field. I might buy those a little bit later, or I might have to end up buying that K&F one later. Like I said, I'm trying to organize my filter life. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. And then there's the other ones. There's the JJC that holds like 10 or 12 filters all at once in one pouch. That looked interesting, but to me, that's just too many. So let me give you an example. Hold on. Where is it? So I kind of made my own filter pouch. This is like a lens case. Came with one of my lenses. I don't know which one. But what I did is, and then you know how you get, when they ship things to you, you get sort of this styrofoam. So I just kind of, you know, cut one length and then just wrapped it back and forth this way. Because if I cut individual pieces, when I take the filter out, the foam comes out with it. But with this, I can take one out and the filter, the foam doesn't come out with it. So I kind of made my own thing. The problem is I like the pack as compact as possible. And I don't want to bring all my filters if I don't need them, right? I just want to bring 3 filters: polarizer, variable ND, and a filter ring, maybe a couple of filter rings. So the smaller pouches make more sense to me, and then I can just put that into the front pocket of my camera bag. It'll fit nice. I can't fit this in the front pocket. This is going to take up a whole lens. So if I bring this is one less lens I can bring, or I won't be able to bring my flash in a small bag. So I'm not a fan of like holding 10 filters at once, except maybe at home here in the studio where I can keep all my filters in one place at home and then sort and select before I go out. But everything needs to be in one place. And like I said, I don't have a workflow for filters yet, but I'm just thinking out loud, right? Uh, how to do this. So we'll see, because I have so many different filter holders. I got the ones that fold out, and I don't like any of them. So I ordered the little 3-pack of 2, and I'm going to see how that works, combined with maybe some hodgepodge at home. Or I might have to end up getting that one from K&F that I really like. I might end up getting that. I'm going to see if I can get the coupon deal with it today and order that. If I didn't order it already, I'm not sure I didn't already order it, to be honest. I have to go through all my shopping carts and see. Okay, so hopefully that gave you some ideas and things that I look for. That K&F one is the ultimate: zipper, magnetic flap, and Velcro belt loop with a hook, waterproof. That had everything, and nice thick padding, and it's compact. That's kind of the ultimate, but yeah, it's $19 just to hold 4 filters. That seems like a lot of money for just. It seems, it's probably worth the $19, but my point is that's a lot of money to spend for something that uh, just holds filters. Okay. We laugh at 200% humidity. Wow. How can humidity be over 100%? I guess it can, because it's all relative. When it gets hot, the air can hold more moisture. I don't know. Ah. But I've been to Florida many times. I was never bothered by the heat and humidity. Yeah, the Benro tripod has too many knobs. I just want simple. I like my Benro tripods. I have 3, I think. And Plato's here. Clint Johnson, good to see you. Uh, B&H has a used OM for under 1100. Wow. I guess you have to look at the condition. If it's in excellent condition, that's a deal. Hi, Rob. Thank you for the stream, and hello, everyone. It's hot. I forgot you were in Maryland, Zoltan. Do you ever come out to our photo club meetups? I don't know. Barry, good to see you. 200% humidity would be a flood. I know, right? Anywho, let's you guys go ahead and put any more questions in the chat if you need to or want to. I got lucky. I got a $300 bag to hold my 200 to 400 and a D500 at my local camera shop. Oh, nice. Nice. Nothing like a nice quality bag, right? Like I'm so happy with my Tenda. But let's not get into bags again. When I get my new bag, I did buy a bag from K&F that I recommended to everybody because it looks so good in the pictures and it was a good deal. Like it's like $25. So I just ordered one for myself. I mean, I could have called them or emailed them and tell them to send me one, but for $25, I ain't doing a review on a bag. They'd have to pay me on top of that. And even then, is it really worth it? I can just tell you it's a good bag or not. We don't need a whole video. But anyhow, I I did go ahead and leave some questions. Actually, there's one here. Just as simple, can I post Olympus things for sale on the forum? I don't get much traffic in the forum anymore, but yeah, go ahead. You know, uh, whatever you want to sell, but I don't expect much. A better place is probably Fred Miranda. Go to Fred Miranda to sell your stuff. There's a lot of buyers there. I wouldn't don't waste your time posting on my forum. Oh yeah, the Sunway photo gear head is pretty awesome looking. It's expensive. I think it's like 300 bucks, but it looks really good. It looks really good. Um, so how do in-body filters work, and are they the same as physical filters? Uh, well, assuming that we're not talking about the electronic computational ND filters like in the OM1 and EM1s, uh, there is a physical filter that drops down on a lot of cameras. They're typically found on cinema type cameras. However, they are on some compact cameras like my XZ2, and they work fine. I don't see any issues with them. Uh, if there was any issue, they wouldn't be releasing them on high-end cinema cameras right now. And right now, they are coming out with actual ND filters built into the camera. So I assume they're fine, but do you have a camera with internal filters? I'm curious. And you asked a question a couple of weeks ago that I missed, and you asked it twice because I rewatch my streams uh, just to make sure the audio video is good. And I know it's been crap. It was crap last month. Hopefully, it's better this month. But your question was when I was talking about flash photography and I was doing flash for the birds. Your question was, does the flash freeze the wings, to minimize motion blur and all of that? And I was using the flash primarily as fill flash in that scenario where I was taking pictures of birds in my backyard, and my shutter speed was like 1/250th of it, or 1/200th, 1/250th of a second. So certainly not fast enough to freeze wings and things like that. And if you notice, most of the pictures I took with flash were bird on a stick. They were just kind of, you know, sitting on a branch or sitting on a, whatever. They weren't flying. In that scenario, 1/250 of a second with fill-in flash, it works great. But it's not going to freeze the wings of birds flying because there's too much ambient light mixed in with the flash. So the ambient light shot, think of it as two pictures. You have an ambient light shot and you have a fill-in flash. The parts that the flash fills in might be frozen, so it's going to be a little sharper. But for the most part, there's too much ambient light mixed in to get a sharp image if it's moving fast, right? The only exception would be is if you're shooting at night where 1/250 of a second gets rid of all the ambient light, or you can put an ND filter on, and if you have a very powerful flash, you can freeze motion during the day, with a little bit of work. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. It's best to shoot at night or in low light, like twilight or something with flash to do birds in flight at a feeder, for example. Then you can freeze wing motion and all of that. But yeah, not during the day. Not during the day. It's not really worth it. Uh how is how are your photo jobs coming? I haven't had any this month. Um I have one that's taking a little while to get paid on that I did last month. I haven't been paid yet. Uh because there's some legal issues with the client on their end. Supposedly I got an email yesterday that that's been resolved. So I should get paid for a job that I did last month this month. So that's kind of like getting a job this month. And it's a pretty substantial amount. You know, when that comes in, then I can pay down some of my credit card, you know, 0% financing that's going to expire. And Roger says, I need a 58 to 72 step up ring to use my 72 millimeter filters on two lenses and a 34 to 58 and 46 to 58 to cover my Olympus 30, 45, and 60 macro lenses. Wow, so you know exactly what you need. Check check the K&F step ring filter kit. That's like 20 bucks. The 34 to 58. So that means you're not going to be able to use your lens hoods because those are pretty big steps up. And generally, when you put filters on, the lens hoods have to come off anyway. But 58 to 72, and you have a 72 on two other lenses, so that's pretty big lens. So I'm trying to think, even my 300 millimeter is I think my 300 millimeter f4 is a 77 millimeters. So you're talking about a pretty decent sized lens. But yeah, the 58 millimeter, yeah, because the Olympus 45 is a 38 or 34 millimeter. The 60, okay. So yeah, you know exactly what you need. I'm not sure if there was a question there. Just my observation is you got one big, I don't know what lens is 72 off the top of my head, maybe the 40 to 150 Pro. I acquired a diverse set of bodies. What is a good strategy for managing batteries and chargers? Uh, if you're talking about like at home, right? This is what I do. It's not ideal, but this is what I do. I don't know if you can, let me see if I can get a different camera. How about my EM5? And I need let me see if I can make this work. I'm actually thinking about updating my charger battery workflow. But I'll show you what I'm doing now. But that'll probably be a project for next week or next month, I should say. I don't think this will reach, but let's see if this is. There we go. This is my streaming setup. I have my HDMI switcher, my loop deck, keyboard, yada yada. Okay, so let's see how far this will go. So this is my oh, we need some exposure comp here. So you can see. All right. So this is my charging setup, my AAA. This is a great charger for AAA. This is, so I have my charging station set up here in a couple layers, right? And then very small ones sitting on top. As you can see, these are all of my charging things. Let me see if I can get a little brighter image here. So here I have like a USB brick. These are all USB A. So I can only get up to, I think I can only get up to 5 watts output out of each one of these to any particular device. So I'm thinking about upgrading this to USB-C kind of power brick. I mean, I have the one that I showed you guys last week, but that only has 3 USB-C ports. So I'm thinking about upgrading this because a lot of these are USB-C now, all these chargers. Like this one is a USB-C now. And it's running at only 5 watts when it's plugged into here. And this is capable of up to 18 watts, as is some of the other USB-C chargers. And then I keep power bricks like this, or power banks, you know, in the mix in this whole area. So I do everything. And then I have some miscellaneous stuff in here. Different kinds of batteries that are small. And then I keep additional chargers in this little case down here for different kinds of batteries, depending which camera I'm going to use. And then over here, this tray is where I keep all of my batteries, right? So this is a little USB measuring device. So this tells me how many watts I'm getting, you know, through any USB-C cable. So I like to monitor that I'm getting the max. I'm maximizing that particular cable situation or charging situation. And these are a bit disorganized now. I normally have this better organized, but this is where I keep all the fully charged batteries. Is I keep them in a tray on the side next to all the chargers. And that's how I do that. So so that kind of sums it up, right? I have a USB power brick with 10 ports that charges all of the individual different kinds of chargers that I have. And that needs to be upgraded to a USB-C now because I've been using that for several years. But I have all the charging things right there on one shelf for every kind of battery I would need. And then there's a little slide out, you know, bucket where I keep additional chargers and things. And then next to that, next to it, I have this tray that I keep. I have one charger here, but I keep all of my batteries. Like this is for my Ring cameras, and I keep all of my chargers. And a lot of times I'll even label the batteries. It's, you know, what number they are because they all look alike sometimes. But that's how I do it. So as the batteries, and I try not to leave any batteries in there overnight. And that whole thing is set up to a timer, so it automatically shuts off at 10 p.m. so that nothing is charging overnight while I'm sleeping. Because, you always have to be careful when you're charging batteries. You hear all these stories about things exploding and stuff like that. So I don't want anything to happen while I'm sleeping, and I don't want anything to happen while I'm away from the house. So I have a little Wi-Fi plug that I can turn on and off even if I'm not home. But yeah, I have it turned off every night at 10 p.m. And then when I wake up in the morning, I might turn it on and start charging whatever I might need for the day. But normally I can keep the batteries. The batteries stay charged for several weeks after you charge them. And then while I'm driving, I might, on going onto site, I might top them off in the car, right? Which is why I bought this. I'll show you this too. Where's my shopping cart? I just bought this. Well, I have it in my shop. If you go to my uh let me see. This I have it because right now it's on sale. I bought this. This is a PD compatible USB-C port, so I'll be able to charge my batteries and cameras a lot faster uh, than I am now. Because a lot of cameras these days, they are, you know, sorry, they are USB-C PD compatible. So this will future-proof a little bit. The only thing you have to be careful. I mean, this one was rated very highly, and it's $25, and it'll do up to, what's it say, 100 watts plus PD. So it'll do 30 watts. Don't plug in 100 watts worth of crap into this little plug-in charger, because the base here, I saw some pictures where this melted down here because it got too hot, and that's because you're trying to drive too much power through this. So I would only plug in like one PD thing at a time. The USB-A port, I think, will go up to 18 watts. But don't plug in all three and try and charge your iPad or your laptop and your camera and battery packs, things like that all at once. Because I'm telling you, most cars today, modern cars today, this power plug in the car itself is usually plastic with a couple of metal pins. And then this device is all plastic, and it's going to melt if you try and run 100 watts through this. So definitely don't do that. Don't try and run your laptop off this little thing. You'll read the reviews and people say it works great with my laptop because it has 100 watts, right? No, don't do it. You're going to be sorry. Better safe than sorry. Maybe a lot of people aren't having problems, but better safe than sorry on that. Uh, but yeah, so I'm going to upgrade that, and I'm still shopping USB-C power bricks. I haven't found one that has like enough ports that I felt comfortable with, right? Uh, but let me see. Where's my where's my list here? I mean, it gets expensive, right? So if I let me drag this over. So I have this. This doesn't have that many ports, but it's 240 watts. And it'd be nice to be able to just drop my phone. It has like 4 USB-Cs and 2 USB-As, so 6 ports altogether. That's not bad. And then I can just lay my phone on top and charge it. So I kind of like this. And then also it tells me the wattage that each port is outputting. So I'm waiting for this to go on sale. This is a long-term purchase, but I really like this one. So that way when I plug in, because part of the problem is uh, that when you plug a USB-C cable in and plug the other end into your device, so charger to device via USB-C cable, not all USB-C cables are rated for 100 watts, 200 watts, whatever, right? They're all rated differently and they're going to max out at a certain level. So when I plug the USB-C cable in and I see it's only giving me 5 watts, I know that that cable is not compatible with PD specs. If I plug in a 30-watt cable and I'm trying to get 100 watts out of it, it's not going to work or it's going to burn up. So it's important to know the wattage that the charger is delivering to your device so that you know you have maximized the capability and speed of charging your devices. And that's why I bought this little, anyway, you saw it, right? That's why I bought this thing, right? So I can test how many watts I'm getting through the cable from the charger to the device so that I know I'm maximizing the charging situation. But something like that I just showed you, this will give me instant feedback because you know how it is with cables, right? I'm always swapping cables everywhere. Uh that's one thing. Let me see what else is here. I was also looking at something like this. This is a lot cheaper, right? 280 watts, 4 USB-C ports, 3 USB-As. It has this new GaN or gallium nickel, uh, whatever GaN stands for, and 30% off. The only problem I have with this, the ratings are really good, but I kind of question if I'm really going to get 280 watts out of this. And if I do, is this device going to hold up? Because it's just too cheap. With 30% off, that makes this thing like $28. I don't I don't know. When I see this is $28 and then you look at a legit brand like Anchor, right? Anchor power bank. Let's look at it. You know, these does Anchor even sell? I know Anchor sells one. It's not a power bank, power strip. Sorry, my bad. Strip. This is a little 100-watt one. Do they even make one that's more powerful? I know they do. It's just it's a matter of finding it. I don't know. 43 dollars for this, and this is only 112 watts. It doesn't look like Anchor really sells anything that's similar to that. But you see what I'm saying? $28 for 280 watts. That seems a little ambitious. Because otherwise, I would just pull the trigger and get it. I would be like, man, high ratings. But there's always that one or two negative review that I look at that I'm like, ooh, that person's got a point. Excuse me, that person's got a point, right? That negative review is kind of scary. Anyhow, when I come up with a good deal or find a good product, I'll put it on my page of deals. But right now, I don't have a high level of confidence yet for a product that I'm looking for. Other than that one that's $180 that I really like, but I'm gonna wait. If I can get that down to about $100 or less, I'm gonna get one. But 180, that's kind of a stretch because I can get by with this. It takes longer to charge a lot of the devices these days because everything is USB-C PD now, but that's okay. I can deal with that. All right. Oh, the 72 is for the 100. Okay, yeah, I don't have either of those lenses, so but they are big lenses. My God, the 8 to 25 takes a 72. That's a big lens, bigger than I was thinking. So I put blue painter's tape and charge blue painter's tape on each battery and charge, and white with a Sharpie the camera. It's 4, just a small piece on the end. Yeah, if you put it on the bottom, right, not the flat side, your battery will still slide in and out real easy. That's a great idea. Little painter's tape. I just use a permanent marker, but it rubs off after a while. So Rob, if I was to buy an EM1 Mark III in 75 to 300 used, what would I expect to pay in US dollars? Prices in Canadian seem to be high when online. I would suspect, you can get an EM1 Mark III for about 8 or 900, and a 75 to 300, you're going to pay $400 for, even used. I've seen some for 300. So ideally, that combination, you can get one sort of in good condition for probably $1,000 for that pair, and closer to $1,200 for one in mint condition for that pair. And that's my gut feeling there, in US dollars. And any strategy for storage of batteries in your oh, in my bag? No. I usually only bring one extra battery, and it just goes in the front pocket, and the other battery's in the camera. So no particular strategy. I never bring It's extremely rare I bring more than one camera. Sometimes I'll bring my main camera plus one of the pocket ones you see behind me, point and shoots. In which case I'll have 2 extra batteries, right? Because they're gonna be different. Normally, they'll be different. And but I keep them separate when I put them in the front pocket. Usually the front pocket has smaller pockets inside, and I try to keep them separate from each other because I don't want the contacts touching each other or touching anything else in the front pocket. And, when you keep it minimized like that, you pretty much know when you've depleted one and started using the other one. The 280-watt unit definitely looks far too good to be true. Yeah, a little bit, right? It's just I'm not sure. I mean, I could order it for like 30 bucks and then test it out. I might do that, but I need to research it more because there's a lot of them that are 280 watts. They're probably just rebranded over and over again. So I have to look at like probably 4 or 5 different ones that look like the same thing, just rebranded, and read the reviews for each one, because that's what happens sometimes. I'll see like one device that has great reviews, maybe 40 or 50 reviews, not that many. And then I'll see the same exact device, but under a different brand name, right? Because that's just the way it is. It's under a different brand name with, say, 100 reviews. And then in those 100, there's several negative reviews, right? And then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to avoid that particular model, regardless of what brand it is, altogether. Uh, But yeah, that's why I haven't come to a conclusion yet on that setup. I'll worry about that next month. This month I want to get my filter life in order because it cost me yesterday. I couldn't use my my polarizer yesterday, and I needed it. Yeah, I'm watching for fake reviews. Yeah. Yeah, if anything is particularly glowing across the board, Uh, yeah, you have to kind of get a feel for it. Usually there's some grammatical errors in the fake reviews, but I don't know. It's hard for me to know what's real, what's fake if it's on Amazon. Hopefully, the majority of the reviews will be real. The other thing you have to watch out for is sometimes you might see a product has 1,000 reviews, right? All positive. But if you go down and you dig in and you start reading those reviews, they are for a different product. So somehow the company that was selling, they might have been selling like tablecloth, right? And then somehow they switched the product to, and there'll be 1,000 reviews on that tablecloth, all 5-star. Then they switched the product to say a battery for your Canon camera. All of a sudden, this battery's got 1,000 5-star reviews, right? And if you don't read the reviews, you may not realize that they're reviewing tablecloth. They're not reviewing that battery. So when you see a generic product with thousands of reviews, go in and look at the reviews and look at the older ones and make sure that the older reviews are applying to that particular product you're buying. That is definitely something I saw was a very common problem with the Amazon reviews, particularly when there's thousands of them. And over time, I've seen Amazon remove that, okay? But somehow they get away with it sometimes, indefinitely, giving you 1,000 5-star reviews for tablecloth, and then they change the product to something electronic, which is a totally different thing, right? Maybe even a different brand name. I don't know how they do it, but I've caught that a few times, and I totally avoided that product because if the company is going to be sneaky, now I don't know. Maybe it's not the company's fault. Maybe it's something in the inventory management system when you're working with Amazon that caused this error, right? So I'll give the company a benefit of a doubt. I'm not going to call them sneaky or trying to be deceitful. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe there's some inventory management software glitch that they uploaded a new product and it picked up 1,000 reviews off another product they sold that were 5-star. So yeah. Oh, so Wayne just mentioned it here. Same thing, right? They switch products for the same listing. I've seen it often enough that I question if it's intentional or not, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, so I'm never going to badmouth a company unless I know for a fact that they're doing it. Like I work there and I did it myself, then I'll tell you, yeah, we're faking it. But otherwise, I'm just making an assumption that the company's being intentional about it. And I don't want to do that. So I like the idea of seeing the product in my local shop before buying, especially cameras, but non-powered items like rings and filters. Yeah, yeah, most stuff you have to buy online, like these accessories and things, because the local store may not have the selection or features exactly that you're looking for. Like these power banks are a good example. I could go to Best Buy and pay $200 for a power bank that is great but doesn't meet all my needs. If I can find the same power bank on Amazon or wherever that are the same capability, right? Different power bank altogether that meets my needs better for a cheaper price and is good quality, then I'll do that. So, uh, but my rule of thumb is I will always shop for camera products. I will always shop my local camera store first. And if they're within reason, support the local businesses and the community in general through the sales tax. It's a whole ecosystem, right? When you buy locally. When you're buying online, you're buying primarily because you can't find it anywhere else, and uh, you're trying to get a really good deal, something that will save you a lot of money versus buying it locally, say at Best Buy. Uh, like Prime Day. Prime Day, There were so many good deals there, you'll never be able to match that, like that Anchor power bank for $79 that I missed out on. Uh, I'm still pissed at that. But anyway, hopefully this $50 generic one is just as good, but I doubt it. But we'll see. You're trying to get a good deal. Now, if there's a product at the camera store that's available that is, say, within 10% of the price, I will buy it at the local camera store every time. Beyond that, I have to think about how much more does it cost, right? Because there's the price of parking and gas to go out to the camera store. I don't count that because usually I combine trips, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, you know, shop with your own conscience about uh, buying locally versus buying online. I try to buy on locally when I can. I never buy if there's a review if it doesn't match what I'm looking for. I've seen it too, and it's deceptive at best. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it could be a software glitch, but I seriously doubt it because as soon as the company posts it, they can see it has a 5-star review before they even sold one product, right? You would think. I don't know how they work. I'm going to leave that alone. Give them benefit of the doubt and just not buy it myself because yeah, the reviews are not 5-star reviews not legit. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, I gotta tell my local camera store about that. Set up a coffee thing in there. But it's family run, right? The local one. So their hours are pretty limited. It's like 10 to 6 daily and less than that on weekends, something like that. I don't know if that's a restriction with the lease that they have or if that's just something they self-impose. Because, sometimes your lease with whatever shopping center says, don't stay open beyond 5. And sometimes it's a business decision because nobody comes in after 5 p.m. And they're like, why am I paying this whole staff to be here when I might sell one filter or one camera bag? It's not worth it, right? Rudolph is here. Good to see you. And the reviews are not always true. Bought a dummy battery at a good price for my G9 Mark II, operating from a good quality D-Tab V-Log. Lasted 40 years, so lasted 40 days, so put on a bad true. Yes. A lot of times the reviews are too fresh, right? They buy it, it comes in, and it works the day they bought it, and they go 5 stars. And then you see other reviews where like, I've been using this thing for 6 months where I'm beyond the return period and it died. Those are scary, right? It's always scary when you go outside the return window and you potentially have to deal with whatever warranty they claim is available to you with the manufacturer. If you're dealing with a major brand, you're okay. And mostly the major brand is not going to fail in 6 months. But these little tiny companies that say lifetime warranty, yeah, good luck in 6 months getting that fulfilled. Some will do it. Newer is pretty reactive. K&F, the reviews that I've seen, they said that K&F was very responsive. So look for that too, but take it with a grain of salt. Okay. These third-party products are cheap enough that I consider them basically throwaway products. If it breaks after I buy it, I just chuck it and don't use it again. Um, like even the Godox flashes, they're not cheap, but they're much cheaper than the manufacturer flashes. And if they die, it's okay. I just buy another one. Fortunately, aside from my TT350, I haven't had any issues. But more recently, I bought a brand new TT350, wasn't paying attention outside the return period. I probably have a manufacturer warranty on it. I should check in on. But yeah, it stopped working outside the return window. And, for $85, I'd probably just buy another one. But I think, potentially deal with Godox directly, but I don't know how that process works, dealing with a Godox warranty. Have any recommendations for speed boosters for adapting vintage lenses? My advice basically is to just don't do it. The only one I've used is a Viltrox version 2, and it degrades the image quality pretty substantially. Uh, yeah, you get crazy. You get a stop more light, but it degrades it not in a good way. Like, the images are very soft, and I never use it. I bought one and I never use it. Uh, I don't know if the new ones. I think the speed boosters. What's that high end one? They're like $500. I'm sure you'll be fine with those because a lot of cinematographers use those. But I think mine is a Viltrox. Hold on, it's probably right here. Oh, here it is. It's not a Viltrox, but I don't want to badmouth a Viltrox speed booster if it's not the one I'm talking about. Leaving a bad review, right? Unintentionally. This is a Zongi. I don't know if I can get this to focus or not. Let me. If I do this. Good old EM10 Mark II. It's very sticky on the face. I can't get it to focus. Anyway, this is a Zongi Turbo 2 Nikon to Micro Four Thirds. I think I paid $180 for this. Yeah, I don't like it. I never use it. And truth be told, you can get native Micro Four Thirds lenses that will match anything that you can get through vintage. If you're doing vintage stuff for fun or for that look, creative purposes, just use them straight without these adapters, these speed boosters. I don't think getting the extra stop of light is worth it, um, based on the image quality degrading so much. So that's my opinion of this one. I haven't tried any other brand. To be fair, I haven't tried Metabones. Metabones, I hear, is very good, but yeah, you pay a pretty penny for it. Yeah, Metabones. Thank you. Yeah, Metabones. Thank you, Wayne. And Viltrox seems mid-tier. Viltrox, I know their lenses are pretty awesome. But I haven't tried their speed booster, and I have mixed feelings about. The nice thing about the speed booster, it also reduces the focal length, because a lot of vintage lenses, they're full frame. It's hard to find wide angle uh, vintage lenses at a decent price. So using a speed booster will let you take like a 28 millimeter and it'll knock it down to a 20 millimeters. So it's like a more normal focal length. But I'm not a fan of speed boosters in general because it just knocks the quality down too much. Okay, here's some good feedback. Rudolph has the Viltrox NF, Nikon the Micro Four Thirds for Euro 79. Awesome. Good to know. That's a good price. I mean, $97. I might be willing to give it a try, but I don't adapt vintage lenses to my Micro Four Thirds quite as often as I used to, because I just have my native lenses filled out. I like putting them on my Pen F sometimes, like the vintage OM lenses, but I'd rather just shoot film cameras if I want to shoot vintage. It says I'm seeing crazy effects for flowers and stuff. Okay. All right. So, that's been my life this week. Let me show you a couple of pictures. Where are they? I think I showed these. I did show these already. I may not have shown this one. Okay, there's a couple in here I haven't shown. Most of these are on my Instagram. So I really like this one. I thought this came out really good. And yeah, so what are these? Lotus flowers? This is a tree. Um, so a lot of these were taken with the 85 millimeter f1.8. This one was taken with another lens that I'm going to be reviewing later. This is also for Sony full frame. You can see the flaring is awful, so you can probably take a guess at what it is. This is the 85 millimeter 1.8 from Seven Artisans. This is the same 85 millimeter, I believe. Yeah, this is also the 85 millimeter. I was testing the Sun Stars at f16, so this image will be in my review. This image will be in my review, I'm sure. Let's see. How about further down? You guys saw my 4th of July stuff, I'm pretty sure. This is with the 85 millimeter 1.8 I took of Ellie. And I took a few more, but that's one. The others look just like this. So sorry I went through those pretty quickly, but those are not the ones. That I wanted to show you. Where are they? Maybe they're probably still in my project folders. Let me see. Yeah, there's some here in my project folders. So this is a long exposure. I believe this is 7 or 8 seconds. And I was using my 5-stop ND filter with the 85 millimeter 1.8. And this picture came out terrible. I like this one. This was also the 85 millimeter f1.8. And more of that. We went and did sunflowers yesterday. And I decided to just go black and white with most of these. I really like this one. I thought this came out really good. I used a flash with this one, actually. So the ambient light was pretty low already, but it wasn't completely black. So in editing, I made this completely black by just, dropping a couple of control points around. And I love the fall off of the light here from the flash onto this leaf. And the flash just gave the image more texture overall. But yeah, this one came out great, I thought. And yeah, there's another picture of Ellie. This is a new toy I got for her. And then, yeah, these are more images for the review. But I was using a 5-stop ND filter and flash, obviously, outdoors. Okay, so, these I was basically testing the animal eye detect with this lens, and it works great. So it's a good lens, but yeah, I love that picture. This one I think is okay. I just thought it was interesting. It looks like these two are talking to each other. right? And these are just kind of like just snapshots of stuff, and that's it. So not a whole lot on the photo side this week. Just a few of those were the keepers. I've already called the images. I took about 150 images yesterday altogether between two locations, the lotus flowers and at the lily ponds and then the sunflowers. About 150 altogether, and I called them down to those like 6 or 8 pictures. And this is Rob, would you recommend digital picture frames? I want a bigger one, not a tabletop. Yeah, Samsung sells like a digital frame TV, which be pretty much the same thing, because you can put a USB-C stick in or USB stick in there, and it'll. Anyway, large. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Because I have a few of them. I have the tabletop ones, and then I have the ones that are about the same side, like 8 or 10 inch screen that you can put on the wall and hang it like a picture frame. And I never use them. Because they just draw constant power. You have to have a plug nearby, and even if you can manage a clean installation without wires and everything showing, I just don't like the idea of something running 24/7. Uh, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me personally. Because I've seen the 43-inch ones that are basically TV sets. I just don't see the appeal. I think having a print of an image is much nicer, and setting that up with some nice LED lighting to light up that particular frame, and then I think that's much nicer personally, but it's very subjective. But I never liked digital frames in general. It seems appealing because I can update them and constantly change. Because some of them I think you can do via Wi-Fi now too, right? But uh, it seems appealing. But it just after a while, you get bored of seeing the same 100 images over and over again, and then you have to update them rather than having one really nice big print and set that up really nice with some LED lighting. You've seen those like in the museums, they have this lighting just for doing pictures. Something like that is much more attractive, I think, in a home and much classier than a digital photo frame. A digital photo frame seems to kind of cheapen, like Instagram cheapens photography. I think it kind of cheapens your photography in general. Um, I think it's better just to have a nice picture frame. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean anything. Let's see. Yeah, we can't post, and I'll look for your thing on Instagram. Oh, Eric is here. Hey, Eric. We had lunch in Ellicott City last week at a place called Phoenix. Anyhow, I can see how that place is photogenic, beautiful. Yeah, it's nice. You've seen my set on Ellicott City. I should go back there and do another set. So I was surprised my Nikon adapted Jupiter 9 starts be sharp wide open. That is what concentration is doing. Interesting. The Jupiter 9 is an old Leica lens, I think, right? Or is that Zeiss? But it's really old from like the 50s. Uh, Interesting. Harper's Ferry is good photography, though I don't believe in paying to walk a city, so I only visit with my Mark car since that's free. Yeah, I have the national pass for parks and things. It expires this month actually. I need to renew it. But so I get in free anyway. But Harper's Ferry is a couple hours away from me, so I I only go up there once every couple of years. Yeah, I agree with the photo on the wall over the electric frame. I mean, maybe having one on your desk, like a little 5 or 6 inch one. Like all my Amazon Alexa device.
I missed something. Can you say it again?
Alexa, stop. I can't say her name, otherwise she'll come up. But I have those play, not my photo albums, but oh, you bastard. Hold on. But I could see like a little 5 inch frame, like on your desk to play back your kids and your dog or pets. That's a frickin' tick. You bastard. Man, these guys are tough. I did a whole tick check yesterday because, I went out in the sunflower fields and, man, I pulled off, not on my body. I found 2 ticks on me that were crawling on me and I got them off. But they are tough to kill, man. I lost track of one in my car. I was chasing it down. I pulled over and was chasing this tick down and it crawled up in between something. Hold on. I lost it. Man, they are fast. I'm going to kill it with something. Damn it. Get out of there. I think I got you. Little fucker. There. Man. Let me tell you something, man. Yeah, Ellie takes the pill. I do check her though too. Uh yeah. This is not a mallet. This is the ball head to my other tripod. Uh but let me tell you something, man. I tried to kill that tick that I was driving and I pulled this tick off the back of my neck that was crawling on me and I put it on the dashboard and I took my cell phone and I started pounding the S out of that thing, right? And it was just laying there dead for about 20 because I was over an hour away from my house. For about 20 minutes, man, it just sat there on my dashboard, didn't move. So I thought I killed it. And then all of a sudden I see it like now I start feel like I got ticks all over me. I start to see it crawling like it just kind of stood up on its back legs and was looking at me like this, right? It just kind of got up and started looking at me like this. And I was like, "You MF," and I was like, "Bam!" and started hitting it again. And then I pulled over, and I was I don't know how it survived that pounding. I better watch this one, man. It might start crawling again. The only way to kill ticks is you got to burn them alive. I don't know, but I was trying to chase it down after I pulled over, and it got in between one of the cracks, and I couldn't find it. So I drove home, and I'm gonna have to do another tick check when I get off the stream because I'm freaking out now. Oh, I used my camera yesterday to kill a tick. Let me tell you, I was pounding the crap out of it with my camera. Oh, but they're tough, man. I was pounding the crap out of that thing in my car. Now I get it. The dashboard is a little bit soft. It's not like wood or concrete. But how did that thing survive? And it played dead for 20 minutes. It did not move. And I said, okay, I got it. But 20 minutes later, man, that thing popped up and looked at me like this, stood up on its back legs, and I started pounding the crap out of it again, and it ran this way. They're pretty fast. I was surprised. Uh, anyhow, I stunned it. Yeah. I don't know how they survive. This time I saw a little bit of splatter when I pounded it, so I'm sure it's dead. But yeah, I'm freaking out now. Ugh. Yeah, they're terrible. Ticks are. Down them in the toilet. Oh, that's a good idea. I will do that. But how? Why is it crawling on my camera? And I'm freaking out. Anyway, I didn't freak out as bad as one of my friends, though, man. She went freaking nuts. Good thing she wasn't driving. Let me tell you, we were sitting that's the one I killed with my camera. We were sitting at the picnic table, man, and she got a tick on her and she jumped a mile. It was like one of those scare cam videos, and she was stomping her feet and I'm not that crazy, like there was a tick crawling on me. I was like, ooh, let me get that thing, and I got it. But outtakes on my streams, I don't know. Yeah, I hate ticks. Ticks are bad. They're as bad as leeches. I know, right? I think at least leeches. I've never had a leech, but they don't poison you like with Lyme disease. These ticks, you have to be so careful. Uh, it seems like every year I'm like on antibiotics to keep, because I'll find the tick and then sometimes I find them already dug in the next day. They're not on there, so I'll take it off and then call a doctor and he'll give me some antibiotics for a day or two. And I should be good. But my sister got Lyme disease last month. She was suffering. She's better now, but it was not pretty. Uh, and she couldn't find any ticks on her, but that's what the diagnosis was, Lyme disease. Mm. So don't take it lightly with the ticks. I should have been better prepared. I wore like long socks, but I should have put the socks up over my pants. All the things you do with ticks, right? To minimize ticks, but I didn't realize I'd be going through brush and woods. Now I know. Like when I go hiking, that's what I do. Is I have long nylon socks that go up over my pants. Uh, and and then I have this spray that is really good. But anyway, all right. We'll see you later, Darko. Good to see you. Yeah, it is 11 o'clock. Maybe I should call it. If there's no other questions, if I missed any questions, let me know. I'm just making sure that tick is still. Ugh, that guy is tough. Oh, I think I see a question. In your opinion, what is the best zoom lens, pro or amateur, from any maker? The 12 to 35, the 12 to 60, or the Leica 12 to 60? Well, the Ollie, I think, is a 12 to 45. Uh, I would go with the Ollie 12 to 45 is my opinion, but I haven't used the other two personally, so I don't know. Can't answer that one. Other than to say the best one is the one you have with you. But I've used the the 12 to 60. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of those. But I've used the 12 to 45 Pro for a long, long time, and it's an excellent lens. And all of the Olympus Pro lenses are excellent. And I'm finding out more recently now that the Leica lenses are excellent. The Panasonic Leicas are excellent with some caveats, right? Like the 25 millimeter f1.4 is awesome, but in a different way. The rendering is different. It acts more like it gives you more like a vintage kind of look, vintage lens look, wide open, and the colors are amazing. Uh, but we're really splitting hairs. Could be all in my head, but I love the 25 1.4, but it's not clinically sharp. Like the Olympus Pro lenses are all clinically sharp, wide open, and excellent lenses. Yeah, the 12 to 40 yeah, those are both excellent. I don't think I could really pick one that's better than the other. Just go for the one that makes the most sense to you in terms of focal length. The 12 to 60 is the most versatile, but I think it tops out at f4 on the long end. The 12 to 35 is a little wider, which I would prefer. Uh, well, I'm thinking of the kit lens. The 12 to 35 doesn't have quite the same reach as the Olympus, but it's a significantly smaller lens and just as sharp for all intents and purposes. But you're gonna if you're using an Olympus camera, you're gonna lose focus in-camera focus stacking, and maybe some other features. I can't that off the top of my head I can't think. So buy the lens brand for your brand camera to match whenever you can, with exceptions being for specific lenses that you want. Like I want the 15 millimeter f1.7 Leica. I don't care about in-camera focus stacking or autofocus speed or any of that. What I care about is image quality that I get from a 15 millimeter Leica. Just like the 25 millimeter f1.4 Leica that I have, I don't care about in-camera stacking or autofocusing speed, things that I'm sure are better on the Olympus 12 to 40. What I care about is the rendering that I got from that lens. Yeah, we're spoiled, right? I agree. Yeah, Cisna Troy, the 12 to 35 was my first lens. Still have it and use it. Yeah, I like that lens. Uh, but it's not one that I own because I have a 12 to 40. Yeah, the 15 millimeter is sweet. I bet. I should have shopped. I did not shop for that when I was shopping this week. I might have found a good deal this week on it. But I was shopping actually the 60 and the 90 macro from Olympus. And I wasted a lot wasted time, but I spent a lot of time on that. And ultimately I didn't pull the trigger on any of it, but I did find the 60 macro brand new for like 330 bucks or something. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. 330 bucks. Uh, it's going to make it harder to pay off my laptop that I bought last year. The 90 macro is like 1100 now on sale or something, or 1000. I was like, not quite yet. I might wait and see if Olympus has a refurb sale. You know, the refurb website. Uh, they might have a sale on it there, and I'll get it there. But I don't think I just can't afford that lens brand new quite yet. But the 15, I should have shopped for that. Dang it. I might do that today. I just scored a good deal on a 35 to 1. Oh, nice. Yeah, the focal length is awesome. The f2.8 35 to 100, having an f2.8 in that range is, that's one of the sort of the trinity lenses that you need to have in your lineup, regardless of format, full frame, APS-C. And it's very attractive because it's a relatively small lens compared to, say, the 40 to 150 Pro from Olympus. Because I don't really need between 100 and 150, but 35 to 100 is very, very useful. Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold out for the 90. That's why I didn't really buy the 60 to begin with. I'm just kind of holding out for the 90, I think. I just purchased a GX9. Yeah, GX9 is sweet. They're like going for $1,000 though. I ain't paying $1,000 or $900 for a GX9. That should be a $500 camera, like the Pen F. That should be 500 bucks. There's no reason for a 10-year-old camera or however old they are now, to be that expensive. It's just not worth it. It's like like a Deluxe 8, 1600, but I'd rather pay that than buy an LX100 Mark II for $1,000. Just doesn't make sense to me. Um, Ah, the GX8. Yep. That one is that. Yeah, that's another excellent camera. It was out at the same time as the Pen F, and it was really technically it's a better camera in every way than any of the Olympus cameras of that day, save for the EM1 series. But the rangefinder, like the Pen F, the Pen PL8s, the GX8 was a much better camera. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Like $600 less than you can buy a Pen F now. That's just ridiculous. So many deals everywhere, right? You just have to shop. I gotta stop shopping. I gotta go out and take some pictures, right? So we'll call it here. You guys, if there's no other questions, I'm gonna call it. You guys have a great rest of your week. It's so great seeing everyone again today. I always enjoy it. Be sure to check out my shop for daily deals, or my overall shop for kind of things that I found very useful on the Amazon links down below. Um, but I might do a shopping stream once a week in addition to this stream separately, if it makes any sense. I don't know. We'll see. But you guys have a great rest of the week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again Sunday next week. Let's do an outro video. Let's see. Let's try this one. That only lasted 10 seconds, and I'm still here. Hold on.